back to the Mountain Morning Show. As you can tell, we're kind of over November, right? We're into December here. I'm with Sophie Miles Kohler, the owner of Park City Nursery, and we have a couple elves with us today. We're going to be demonstrating some wreath making and kind of talking about everything you have at the nursery for this season.
Thanks. We are deep in holiday spirit at the Park City Nursery, where we're busy making fresh wreaths, garlands, and centerpieces out of live, beautiful evergreens. And yes, I brought some elves from the nursery today who are going to demonstrate some of our wreath know-how and maybe give some tips to those do-it-yourself folks looking for some ideas to make some wreaths from home.
I love this. If you're not a DIYer, though, something that I feel like is totally unique to you guys is you guys can customize wreaths. I mean, somebody could come in and say, I want this, I want this, I want this, and you'll make it right in front of them?
We do. We can customize any variety of greens, a wreath any size. This big 30-inch wreath in front here was a custom order that we got last night. So what I have to say, though, is what we're locally known for is our rich variety of thick bundled greens with all that texture and fragrance. But we can definitely
this whole
make anything.
set smells amazing. I just kind of want to like twist it a little bit and then sniff my fingers. Can I just can I lay down in the garland? Is that okay?
Yeah, so the most important part about wreath making or garland making is definitely starting with fresh, healthy greens.
Where do you get your greens?
So that's the most important thing, is getting greens that we know are going to be successful in our climate in Park City. We get our greens and our cones locally and also from Washington State and northern Idaho. And what we recommend is starting with for a structural base, like a thick lodgepole or concolor, and then for like that long, fluffy, beautiful feathery needle, a white pine or ponderosa.
Who knew?
For fragrance, maybe add some Fraser or Noble. And then cedar is also very lovely. You have to be a little bit careful not to put it in direct exposure so it doesn't get scorched.
Okay.
And holly, a favorite,
oh, love that.
is something that we can enjoy inside only in Park City.
This should last us all month long?
This should last you all month long, and yeah, unless we get abnormally hot weather, it should stay nice and fresh.
Indoor, outdoor, you should be good.
Yes, it'll dry out more if it's inside.
Okay.
Outside on your porch, it'll stay nice and green and fresh. Inside, after not getting water after a few weeks, you might lose some needles.
Right, and some forced air will, of course, help that happen.
That's so true.
All right, well, I kind of want to see what the elves are doing. Let's get into these tips. Which one do we want to demonstrate?
Let's talk to Elf Tissa over here.
Hi.
Elf Tissa, can we turn your easel?
Definitely.
So you're a pro. Yes.
Literally. Yes. One of them, yes. So I started with doing, a few pine cones, added a bit of gold. Here's my bow that we've made up here.
Love that.
So I was waiting to wire it on to show you guys.
Okay, is wire the best thing to use?
We like it just because it helps attach everything a little bit better.
Is it sturdier?
It's sturdier, and then like if you have it outside and stuff, then it's not gonna fall off as easily. It'll go through the snowstorms and you'll still have a put together wreath.
And the other thing is, at the end of the season, if you loved your berries, cones, and bow, you can take it apart and save it for
use
another
it next year, right?
We have tons of people that bring stuff back in every year, and we just redo them for them.
So tell me about the process. How do you start? Where do you end? What's the middle look like?
Mostly it's like you want to start with your bow color. So you pick your bow colors, and that's kind of what bases what color or combination your wreath is going to make. So here, we picked some nice kind of burgundies and golds.
Very classic.
Green.
Over here, the one you guys made last night, I mean, you have Tiffany blues in there.
Yeah.
Is that a new thing?
No, we've been doing blues for a couple of years, but it's going to be real big this year.
Is it?
So, people are liking the blues and the blue plaids and stuff. So we've done a lot of blues already. So yeah, you start with your bow, pick your colors that you want.
Okay.
You always choose, like, do you want your bows on the sides, top or bottom, and that kind of decides on how the look you're gonna do. And then, like I said, we wired on some cones. I like using lots of different types of cones. It gives a real good, natural look to it. And then because we have gold in our ribbon, I started with some golds there.
Yes,
yeah,
I love it.
And then to add a little bit of just different textures and stuff, even though this is a little more of a red.
You could get away with that.
Yeah, well, and it just adds, just a little bit of pop to it. So you just put that in there.
So you can do this right in front of the customer, or the customer can come in and say, hey, I like this color scheme, and you can just make it and deliver, or do they come pick it up?
such a huge assortment. I think that's part of the fun, is picking it out yourself. But definitely we have people who have been ordering their wreath for the last 20 years, and they say, give me that wreath I ordered the last 20 years, and we say, here you go.
The same one?
The same one.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
A little afraid of change, are we?
Yeah, it's great. And they can come in too and they can just say, I want something country classic, I want really bright gold blingy, and then, you know, we just whip it up for them.
And they trust you.
Yeah, and I say we hardly ever have a customer that's not satisfied with that.
So tell me, how long does it take to make a wreath? When somebody orders it, when can they pick it up?
Usually if we're not super busy, we can just have it done that day. If it's nothing super elaborate, we'll actually just do it in front of them while they're looking for a Christmas tree, shopping around the store.
And they can pick out the exact bow they want, the exact pine cone they want, which
exact
could be a little
greens they
annoying
want.
for you guys.
Yeah, but it makes them happy, and so
Yes.
it's always nice to see, you know, them enjoy their Christmas.
You know, a major question here, when we have such a big wreath, what kind of, you know, hanging equipment do we need?
Just actually a wreath hanger or a nail, because we actually make them on these pre-clipping rims here, and so you have your rim
Thick
already.
metal rim.
And then you can just either have a nail to hang it on, that's what we're using on our easel.
Got it.
Or if you have a wreath hanger to hang over your door, it hooks just on there too.
Perfect. Well, Tissa, I want to go to break and I want to come back and cover some more. Is that okay with you guys?
Yeah.
See what elf Renee's been making
Yes,
over there.
that's all coming up in just a few minutes. You're back with us on the Mountain Morning Show, where it kind of looks like a winter wonderland. I wanted to check in with Renee. She's been making a wreath. You kind of didn't see it when we were checking in with Tessa. Let's talk about your wreath.
Oh, yes, so this is a 12-inch inside diameter rim. And with nice mixed greens that we made at the nursery. And then, so I started with the bow and put that over here onto the right side.
So just like Tissa said, you always want to start with the bow.
Yeah.
Okay? Does that kind of set you up for the colors you're going to be using for the rest of the wreath?
Yeah, it kind of gives you a basis of the coloring you want to
And
use.
the symmetry of the wreath too. You might want to offset the bow.
So both of you guys chose kind of like a diagonal side position. Is the front and center kind of out of style?
No.
It just depends?
Yeah, if they're hanging on a door or, you know, something where they want it real symmetrical like that, they'll definitely go with that.
Got it. Got it. Are you guys getting orders where they just want the green wreath and a giant red bow, or do they want everything?
No, we have some big wreaths, some big, you know, 5-foot wreaths that they just want a big bow and they hang it on their barn.
And keep it simple.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, do you guys add lights to them?
We do.
Tell me everything that you could add to a wreath.
Oh, you can add like woodland elves. You can add
You want to put elf in the shelf in your wreath?
and we have assortment of ornaments and animals. We put bells on them.
I've
quite
heard a little
bit.
bell on this big one right here.
Obviously, different variety of pine cones, different colors of berries.
Yes.
And lots of sparkly blingy.
Bling, a little bling. Well, Renee, your wreath looks good. Tissa, your wreath looks good. This isn't a competition though, girls, okay? All right, Sophie, you guys have a cool event coming up this weekend.
Yeah, you said this looks like a winter wonderland. Well, if you really want to experience a winter wonderland, come to the Park City Nursery at 4497 Highway 224 this Saturday the 2nd. Come all day, but from 3 to 7, we're going to have an extra special event for our December garden stroll. We're going to have a live manger. So if the spice cider and the hot cocoa and the lights and the trees and the garlands weren't quite enough, you can come hang out with a miniature donkey or a Highland calf and get those family photos done and have some fun picking out a tree.
Wow. I think I'm going to be there, especially with the Highland
Kelly
calf.
will be there.
Yes, yes. Well, I love this. Well, I think it's so great you guys do customized wreaths. I've never even heard of people doing that. You can make it right in front of the customer. You can just put your order in and trust them with the details. Regardless, I know you're going to be happy because these girls know how to do it at the Park City Nursery. All right, thank you girls for coming on. We do have a lot more coming up on the show in just a few minutes.